Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with something that I have never done before and wasn't planning on doing. This is actually a reshoot of a previous video I did, the playthrough video for Space Infantry Resurgence. All right, and there's a very specific reason that I'm doing this video again, and that's because, I pay attention to the forums on Facebook and Board Game Geek and all the different areas. And I actually found out that this game was catching a lot of flack, and a lot of it was coming from the previous playthrough I did where the Leviathan in Mission 4 here died very quickly. Now, in actually talking with the publisher and the designer, I found out that one, they had made some changes for this, and two, I actually made some mistakes in the process of doing this. Now, you guys have to remember, and I always make sure and mention this, is that this is a prototype copy. This is not the production copy of the game. And a way to think of that is this is the beta version, right? This isn't the final absolute, this is what, is going to be out there when production hits retail shelves and people actually start getting the real copies in their hand. Part of the reason that publishers send copies like this out is so they can get a fresh pair of eyes in front of it and find out little problems that exist. Because no matter how good of a designer you are, no matter how hard you work or how many times you read over that rule book, if you've written it, if you've been neck deep buried in it, you're going to be numb to it, and you're going to overlook what is going to come out as a blatant, very obvious error to someone else. That's just human nature. It's not relevant specifically to lock and load. Every developer has that issue. That's why every company that has products like this, that's why video game companies do the same thing, where they send out playtest copies to different people, and they have playtesters who take and play through it because the playtesters can find the errors. I actually just had the situation pop up recently when I was doing For What Remains, game that just hit Kickstarter, which I recommend you guys check it out, from DVG Games. And in the process of doing my playthrough for that, I found some errors and talked to the designer and the publishers, and they've already got them corrected. If anything, you guys should not take that as a bad sign that I found an error when I was playing through the game. You should take it as a good sign that I found an error, because it means that it won't be in the production copy that you guys receive. And just to prove that point, I've, like I said, reset up the map that I was going to play. I didn't worry about getting all the nodes in the exact same place. I just threw them out there. But I reset up the map. We're going to play through it again. And this part up here that lists down the specific rules, we're not going to be paying attention to that because I have the updated rules that have just been released. I'm using the same fire team that I used the first time, the one that I geared out as a Leviathan killer. I'm going to make sure and get this thing, do my best to go after it again. And part of the reason that I put up the video, even though it made the game look a little bad the first time, is because I'm all about integrity. I'm going to put it up, as is. I'm not going to edit to shield anybody. But Lock and Load put up the video themselves because they wanted you guys to see the truth of things, and they want transparency. They don't want you guys to think that they're hiding anything or trying to make it look different. And I'll let you know, they're not paying me to do, the playthrough of this or anything like that. They do send me the copy of the game, which is excellent. It's why most reviewers like doing stuff like this, because we get our hands on, advanced copies of stuff before it hits retail shelves. We love that crap. I'm not going to lie. I get a huge kick out of getting prototype copies that have that burnt wood smell because it's, freshly made and got laser cut. I love that shit. I wish I could get it from every company. I mean, I'm just not big enough to get them doing that. But when I was reading the threads and I was listening to all the hell that the game was catching, I didn't think it was warranted because I knew most of the problems that the game had in my previous playthrough had already been fixed. So people were hating on it and saying they weren't going to back it based on my video. And if anything, they should have been like, okay, great. he found that now, so it's not going to be there later. And again, this is just a representation of a single map. The rest of the maps are going to operate completely differently. The rest of the missions are, because you're not going to be fighting a Leviathan in it. The big reason I chose Mission 4 with the Leviathan previously is because I was on a time crunch, and this felt like the quickest mission that I could get out a video on to show you guys the basic gist of the game. But since it did cause issues for it, and a lot of people are hating and saying they're not going to back because of me, I felt bad about that and decided, okay, I'm going to take and reshoot this. I'm going to play through it again because I'd already asked them, hey, send me those updated rules when you get them. Let me try that again. And I wasn't planning on doing the video. I was just going to let them know about my experience. But I figured since, hey, I had inadvertently caused them some problems because they were catching online hate, I'll go ahead and take and record this shit and throw it up and let you guys see. And hey, if it goes bad again and the rules haven't been updated enough and needs some more tweaking, you guys will see that again this time. Or if they've gone too far, you guys will see it again. I'm not going to hide it from you. You're going to get, straight from the horse's mouth. This is what it is. There were some other complaints that I saw in there, and a lot of that is stuff that's beyond my purview, stuff that I can't really speak to one way or another because I'm not directly associated with any of these wargaming companies. I just, work with them because they help me with my videos. But stuff like people complaining about early backing, and just to put my own 2 cents into that, I've seen so many Kickstarters do it. I've never gotten an early backing, no matter how soon I've gotten onto a game. And a lot of times I wait anyway. I don't mind paying a few bucks more to ensure that the game is going to get backed before I take and put my money at risk for it. But I can kind of see the point each way. Some people are like, okay, well, why shouldn't I get the $10 discount just because I didn't, click quick enough? And the way I look at it is it's a bonus for some people in the fact that, hey, they took the risk. They were the first ones there. And it's an incentive that plenty of companies do to take and get people to back very quickly. And that's just a business thing, because when you are doing Kickstarter, you are putting yourself at risk, because most companies now aren't beginning development process when they get to the point of Kickstarter. Most of the time they're towards the end of development. They're doing final tweaks, and they're getting ready to send this to the manufacturer to actually produce the game. So they need people to take and actually put their money behind it to get it produced. So I can understand why they want to incentivize people, and I can understand why some people will get upset, and then some people think it's great because they're getting a little bit of a boon. I'm not going to hate on a company for having early backing. It just, honestly, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. It's great if I get it. It's not going to kill me if I don't. Honestly, with every Kickstarter I've ever backed, for the most part, you're getting the game at a fairly substantial discount anyway, compared to, what you're going to pay at retail. Like the retail of this, I guarantee you, this box is heavy as hell. The components are there. This is not like the first Space Infantry. That's why I produced the first video showing the huge difference in what came in the 2 different boxes. The box is heavy. You're getting a box full of stuff. All right, just flat out of the gate. There's a lot of stuff in this box. Yeah, I'm not going to hate on L&L for taking and having a early backing. They're not doing anything different than so many other companies have done. I doubt they'll do any more early backing after this one, just because so many people have tried to complain about it and cause a stink. And it's no different than Come On and Stronghold, and can't even remember all the names of the others. Plenty of other companies have done it. And it's like one company will come up with an idea of a way to kind of incentivize people to take and jump in on the Kickstarter, and the next handful of companies will take and follow suit, and then people will get upset about it and they'll switch on to something else. The thing that I've noticed, and it seems to be creeping into wargaming now, it was in the generalized board gaming scene, and now it really is kind of getting into wargaming, is this sense of entitlement that people feel like they're owed whatever the hell it is that they're owed, like the best of the best and always, and they need everything, and it should be given to them at a 99% discount because they are special. And it look, I don't want to get too far off topic, but keep in mind, especially with wargamers, these are mom and pop companies. They are bending over backwards. And sorry, you might hear a click here or there or tone from my phone because I do have it out so I can take and have the updated rules out. But like I said, these companies bend over backwards to produce the highest quality, best product for you at the most reasonable price. You got to remember, they're not able to take and do 10, 20, $30,000, 20,000 unit production runs. So it's going to, cost them more to get it. Basically, the more units a company can produce, the cheaper it's going to be on the back end for them and then for the customers. And most companies just take and pocket that anyway. But especially with wargaming companies, they've got a small amount of people putting in a hell of a lot of hours doing their best to, take care of you and get you the best product possible. I know they jump through a lot of hoops because I talk to them on the sides about everything they do. So, keep that in mind when it comes to the game, that they're doing their damnedest to get you the best product that they can. They care. Most of the companies care. I'm not going to mention the ones by names that don't, but you haven't seen a whole lot of their games on my channel. All right, let's take and get into the game itself. So one of the issues we had previously when we ran this campaign was that I killed the Leviathan on turn 1. And that, technically it was my goal. I was trying to kill it as quick as possible. But there was a issue that I had, and my mistake had to do with the fact that I did not give the Leviathan as many armor chances as it was actually entitled to. Without replaying everything, basically it was entitled to a armor roll per attack that it received, not per totality of all the attacks. So I should not have totaled all of the hits that my units got, including the grenade, and then only gave it 1 armor chance. The Leviathan actually should have had 5 armor chances to take and stop hits coming through. So as much as 5 health could have been prevented from going through. Still, let's say worst case scenario that the Leviathan missed all of its armor rolls and it took all 5 hits. It took everything, whatever. The Leviathan either would have been very wounded or dead or whatever it is. So in talking with them and them seeing, the results that I had, because again, remember, I geared my squad specifically to kill the Leviathan, not to take and be a campaign squad that could be general purpose enough to complete multiple missions. This one was very much, I'm going to kill the Leviathan. They took and adjusted that. They talked to me about the mistakes that I made to make sure that I understood what I was doing so I could correct that. Because I didn't even realize that he should have had that. And they've got that corrected in the rulebook now. So it's more easily understood that you need to take and handle it that way as far as armor rolls are concerned. And they changed this all around for the combat that's going on here. Now, and I'll take and get the image and I'll put it on screen so you guys can see it. The objective is still to kill the Leviathan. You're not selecting a random enemy, and the Leviathan still has a negative AP chance as far as these little indicators are concerned when you're moving through. The lair, which is all the way up here to the right, this one is the one that's actually printed on instead of the nodes that are here, is still resolving the full encounter. Frostbite is still in effect. It's one of the special rules. But they added a home field. You may never gain ambush, which is the ability to basically hit first. But the Leviathan always has ambush in the first round of combat. So every attack that you will have moving through these nodes, the Leviathan gets ambush. Now it also has self-preservation. Each time the Leviathan is assigned a wound during combat while outside of the lair, roll a random number. On a 4 plus, the Leviathan flees, canceling any remaining unassigned wounds. Each wound assigned during the current combat round adds 1 to the random number result. Wounds from previous combat rounds do not add to the roll. So basically, as you're going through up until you get to the lair, and then, at that point, it's he dies or you die. Each time he takes a hit, there's a chance that the rest of the attacks are not going to go through. So you'll start with, let's say my shotgunner will start the attack off. If the shotgunner gets a hit through, well, there's a 50% chance at that point that the Leviathan's gone before my other 3 even get to conduct their attacks, let alone throw a grenade in. If Fire Team A also gets a hit because the Leviathan didn't flee, well, now there's more than 50% chance, because now it's, instead of a 4 plus, it's a 3 plus. And then it'll go 2 plus, and then, he's gone. So that is a very interesting rule. It makes it to where you are not going to take and be able to push through a bunch of wounds, but there is a chance that you can take and weaken him as you move through these nodes, get a few wounds into him so you can try to gun him down when you get to the lair. Excellent choice. And this is stuff they did based off, obviously, my video and the playtesting that I did. And they're also talking to other playtesters, because I'm not the only idiot out there that got a copy of this game, heads up, so I could take and play it and let them know what I thought about certain issues that are going on. There are other people who are playing different missions and letting them know about stuff like this. That's why I was trying to explain it to you guys. This is the beta test. This is not the production. It's close to production, but it's not the final thing. So the best thing that we can do is find issues like this now, so they can take and fix it. The only difference is that I showed it to you guys when normally you don't see it. And like I said, Lock and Load's not the only company that does stuff like this. All of them do this. You just don't see it all the time on what happens. They're just very open about, hey, show them what the deal is. We don't mind being transparent. Okay. So I'm going to keep this off to the side. I'm sorry you guys might hear, a thing, but it's going to help me remember the rules. Let me make sure the Leviathan has the same stats. I do believe he still has the same stats: 8 health, 1 armor, fire and melee, deals 2 damage. Yep, okay. So Leviathan has not changed. I've got it zoomed in. This is actually the new map that's going to be printed, and I think for the most part it's the same, with the exception of the change up here. So I've just got this zoomed in so I can read it while we're going through. But like I said, I'll put that on screen for you guys. And just to show you guys that I am not, being funky or doing anything, this is the exact same squad that I picked the first time, with the exact same gear that I picked the first time. So everything's the same with the exception of the changes that they made. And now we're going to take and run through it. And I'll be obviously correcting my mistake of not giving the Leviathan all its chance of armor rolls. But of course, we're going to have to now due to his chance of fleeing and all that crap that's going to go on. So let's start our playthrough. Sorry that I rambled on for a while, but I did want to take and make sure and address all the pertinent issues for you guys before we got started. We are on turn 1. Got all my gear down there at the bottom right. I've got my stack of counters, which is Fire Team A, Sniper, Shotgun, Close Combat Team, the Explorer, and the Squad Leader. Remember, the Explorer and the Squad Leader are special units. You always have the Squad Leader, but he never actually participates in combat, but he can aid in combat with his command skill. The Explorer has special abilities. Let me hold him up for a second. The Explorer has special abilities to help move through some of these nodes: tracking, scout, climb, and he does have a melee skill, but he's not going to participate in combat again unless there are less than 3 of my guys left or more than 3 enemies. Obviously, there won't be more than 3 enemies due to the fact that there's only going to be 1. And like I said before, this is one of the things that I like that wasn't in the previous Space Infantry, is the fact that there's a counter for each one of the different specialists for all the different fire teams and close combat teams. So you don't need to have it. You could just take the single counter with Squad Leader or whoever you wanted to use and move it around. It wouldn't change the game, but I like having the whole stack of counters. So if I do lose a guy over here, I can take their counter out to represent the fact they've been killed. Just a neat little addition. Okay, we are in mission start. We're good to go. I'm going to go over here. It's the only place I can go. Try to land here. And I think I'm going to take and do like I did at the start of the last one. This one is tracking. And it is 2 to get in there. And to save myself some mission time, I'm going to go ahead and burn an intel pack, which will give me 2 successes, because I've only got one guy with tracking and he only has a successive or a skill of 3. So at best I could get 2, but more than likely it'll take me a few rounds to get in there. So we're going to just burn a intel pack to get ourselves a guaranteed 2 successes so we get in here. You see that it's a 5+ to encounter the Leviathan. Well, we're going to take and roll off and see if we get a 5+. Last time we did get a 5+. We got a 1, so we did not get a 5+ this time. Did not encounter the event. I'm not going to worry about rolling for his command for this round. I'll do it on the next round because I'm not going to need it for anything else. So we're going to go over here, turn 2. Now I'm going to roll for his command. Please forgive me if I still sound a little nasally. I've got dregs of a cold that just will not go for me. All right, so let's roll for his command skill here. The squad leader is command skill 4, so on a 4 up, I will get a command point. I got a 6. Remember, you take and divide it into it. 4 into 6 gives me 1 with a 2 remainder. Can't do anything with a remainder, so I just get the 1 command point, which I will place on him that I can use for potentially moving in for the advance. But one other thing I did find that I did wrong is that when I do that, I would roll again for his potential command when it came to combat. Okay, so now my option is to either go up and scout for 3 or advance to 4. I again do have someone who could scout for 3 or scout, but he can only scout by himself. I don't have anyone else with scout. I do have 4 people who have advance. So even though advance is harder to get into because I need 4 successes, I have a better chance of getting there quicker. So we're going to take and do that real quick. Let's take and roll. I'm going to do it for my shotgunner, fire team, sniper, and CC team. First off, shotgunner has an advanced skill of 4, so I need a 4 or higher. Which, what did I get? I got a 6. So they will get 1 single success. And I'll just place a generic marker there to represent that they did get 1 success for the advance. The next one has a 3. He got a 2. Now I'm going to leave this 2 die here because I can use that command point to bump that up to a 3. So let's take and roll for our shotgunner. Also has a 3 for an advance. Got a 5. Oh, it'd be the same thing because I could use a command point to take and bump that up to 2. So all I need is 1 more success and I'll be able to get there on 1 round. 3, I did get it. So I got 1 success here. I should have just left the die. And I can use a command point either here or here to get myself an extra. So I will use his command point. And that gets me the 4 successes total that I need to take and go ahead and move over into this node. Now you guys can see that this node is a 6+ node. So it's an easy node to take and avoid the Leviathan. Let's take and roll real quick and see what happens as far as the event is concerned. 2, so no dice. Now I'm also going, we're going to take and flip over the next turn. I'm going here. I can get some, I think that's intel packs there. Yeah, I can get some intel packs there to replace the intel packs that I did spend. So we'll take and move over into that one. Because again, there's no reason for me to go back here to the scout. If I was going to go that way, I should have just gone that way. But here doesn't have any negative for the Leviathan. So if I go into this node and fight him, he doesn't have a penalty. But let's take and do it. Let's go ahead and roll for my squad leader, see if he has any command. He got a 5. He does get a command point. So that behooves us. More than likely, we will be able to get in here. Shotgunner, 4+ on advance. Got it. So we'll lay our dice there. Watch my dice kick ass again. And the Leviathan dice like suck. All right, next one, advance 3. Ooh, that's 2 advance. And I don't even need to bother to keep rolling because that's 1, that's 2. I've already got the advances that I need to get in. So we are cooking with gas. We will go there and we'll take and roll to see if we have our event. And then I will explain to you about the intel packs. Ooh, 5. We do not have the event. Now, with these areas where you have places you can pick up stuff, you're going to roll. And if I remember right, I'm not going to dig into the rule book for it just yet, but if I remember right, it's roll and then -1 on whatever you get. So as long as I don't get a 1, I'll get 1 because you can only have 8 items over there. And I've only spent 1. So as long as I don't get a 1 here, I can get that intel pack back. So we're good. I will scoop back up my intel pack, throw it in. Now we have to go this way, and we can only do so with tracking. So let's take and roll and see about getting our, pull our command shit off there. See about getting our tracking, but our tracking skill on this guy is a 3. So it's not going to be too hard. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're rolling for the squad leader's command. Ooh, did not get a command. So now we've got to take and roll for our explorer on his tracking to see if he gets a tracking. So let's see what happens here. Oh, both of them fail it. Now what that means is that we are not able to push up in there, even though it only has a success of 1 required. We're going to lose a turn, but before that happens, we have to take and roll for the event for the area that we are in, because obviously we did not complete it. So we are still stuck here. We're still looking for a 6 or better. All right, let's roll the die and see what we get. Oh, we hit it. We got a 6, which means we actually are going to encounter the Leviathan. So let me pull it up. I want to make sure I am doing this right here. My phone zoned out on me. All right, where is it? Okay. He's going to have ambush, which means he's attacking. So we're going to do his attacks first, and he's going to bail or attempt to bail if I cause wounds to him. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for his potential attack first, and we're going to see where the combat's going to be. 0 to 2 is going to be a fire, or 3+ will be in melee, and that has to do with the range. Remember, melee is good for him, but it's also good for me because I'm geared for melee, with the exception of the sniper that I brought on the off chance that we fought at fire range. So let's see what our range is going to be. Our range is going to be fire, so it's bad for him, bad for me. That is okay. I can deal with that for this first one. Okay, now he is going to take and use his fire skill. His fire skill is a 4, so he does not have any minus APs. If we had been in one of these areas that did have a minus AP, it would subtract from his skill, basically. Or the action points that he rolled, he would lose from it. So we don't have to worry about that in this node because he's not getting the bonus since we came over here to get the intel pack. All right, so let's roll for him and see what he gets attack-wise. Oh, he got the 6. This is actually good for us, though, because since we are at fire range, he's only doing 1 wound, where if we had been at melee range, Dummy would have been doing 2 wounds to us. And he is much more likely to attack at melee than he is at fire. So we do have 1 wound to account for. I'm going to choose to attempt to take it on my fire team because my fire team does have armor. So let's see if she does block it. And it does look like a she. Yeah, that looks like a she to me. Okay, so let's roll and see if she blocks this attack. Oh, she misses. So she actually does take the wound, but that's all right. She's got 2 health. So we'll take and pop a wound marker onto her. You do get to choose where you're taking the wound, but I can't. It's risky if I choose to take another wound on her and she misses. She could end up going down. But I do have some med kits left, so it would give me a chance to take and correct her. So I'll probably still attempt to take wounds on her unless it's a lot. All right, now we're going to take and push on to the next turn. We're going to attempt to go into the tracking again. I'm going to take and roll a... Oh, wait. What am I doing? I haven't even finished my attacks. He attacked. Now I get a chance to attack back. Blech. The ambush is throwing me off a little bit. Okay, so we'll start with my shotgunner. And my shotgunner has 2 combat... Oh, nope. Shotgunner doesn't have that. Sniper will have the fire range. Shotgunner will only hit on a 5+. All right, damn it. I dropped one of my dice, and I definitely don't want to lose these dice because these are my real nice dice. All right, so we're going to roll actually first for our squad leader to see if he gets a command point. He does not get a command point, so we're not going to have that going for us. Let's roll for our shotgunner. We're looking for a 5 or better. We got the 5, so we did get a single success on that. So we'll place that down to represent for our shotgunner. Now we are going to compare the result now for it rather than continuing on with the rest of the squad. If the Leviathan, if the armor does not block this and the Leviathan takes a wound, then we're going to roll to see if the Leviathan flees. All right, so there's the marker for my potential success. We're rolling for the Leviathan's armor. The armor did not... All right, so since the Leviathan did take and roll... Sorry, I'm having to pause every now and then because I'm reading over this to make sure I'm doing it right. Since I've had my previous idea of the rules in my head and I'm making sure I'm doing the right ones. All right, on a 4+, the Leviathan flees, canceling any remaining unassigned wounds. There were no unassigned wounds. Each wound assigned during the current combat, okay, would add to it, so we don't have to worry about anything else. So the Leviathan's gone, so that just means we don't have to worry about anything else. So the Leviathan took a wound, and I took a wound in this first one, but she bolted. So now we're going to the next turn. And I gotta say, I like this change better because it changes it to where after each one of my guys goes, there's a progressively lower chance that she'll actually stick around. And the chance is actually so low because of the number of troops that I have that by the end of it, I couldn't even throw a grenade if I wanted to. So, like, she'll already be gone by that point. Let's take and continue on. I already moved the turn counter. Let's take and roll for my squad leader for the command. Didn't get the command. I'm sucking ass on command this round. All right, we're moving into tracking. We're looking for a 3+. And I'm almost thinking about burning an intel marker if I don't get it so I can get moved. We didn't get it. I got enough turns. We'll take and wait. All right, so there's nothing going on there. We'll roll. Oh, I don't have to worry about rolling again. I do get to place an event marker down. In that note, I did forget to do that. So we don't have to worry about triggering this event. So on the off chance that we were coming back through here, we wouldn't try for the event again because we had already triggered the event. So we're just going to go on to the next turn because I've got plenty of turns to get up there to the lair. All right, we'll roll again for the squad leader to see if he gets command point. He's not. Okay, this dice has gone away. This dice sucks. We're going to take and roll now for... All I need is a tracking. I need a 3 or higher and we get moved. Got the 3. There we go. Now we get the success that we need. Now we're going to take and roll again for the potential Leviathan attack. 3+ will trigger the Leviathan on this one versus the others that were 6, 6, 5 that we had previously. So you can tell they're getting tougher as we get closer. Actually, this is the only one that's 3+. The rest of them are 4s, 5s, or 6s. All right, let's take and roll, see if we get her. 1. No, we do not get her. And it really... I think I'm going to go this route, the climb, because I've got intel packs. Oh, wait, that's a climb 5. Oh, I want more time. I wanted to try to hit her a couple more hit and runs before I went straight to the lair. because the lair might take and get my guys beat up. So I wanted to try to get another wound or two into her before I went that way. Maybe I go this advance, that advance. Or I could even take and go advance over here, see if I trigger her, and then come back over here. I want to try to hit her at least 1 or 2 more times before we get to the lair to see if I can get another wound or 2 through so she's not fully at full health or just 1 wound when we get there, because I could potentially get beat up, especially if she's in melee at that point. So, yeah, let's take and pop over here, and then we'll pop back that way. Because, yeah, we didn't trigger her. We're going to go on to the next turn. Yeah, we'll do that and see if I can get her triggered 1 more time over here. Or actually, I wouldn't even have to move. I could just take and wait and see if I trigger her there. But the only problem is, yeah, I can burn a couple of turns. I'll just stay here and see if I trigger her in the event. And then do it that route. Because I have the best chance to trigger her here with 3+. And I've got plenty of turns to burn before we get there. So I can wait and trigger her here and get that -1 AP to her. Okay, so we're going to do that. We'll burn a turn, see if we get her encountered. 1, we do not. I think I picked up that bad die again. So we'll burn another turn and roll to see if we encounter her. Now we encounter her. So I'm going to go ahead and place the event down to signify that. Again, she's going to have ambush. So let's take and roll and see where she's going for the attack. All right, so let's roll and see where she's going for the attack. 3 is going to be melee. So she is melee on this round. We'll take and flip this over, and we will conduct her attack first and see what she's going to do here. Her melee skill is a 3, so on the off chance that she gets a 6, she could have as many as 4 wounds coming through that I would have to take and allocate to my guys to deal with. Okay, so let's roll for her. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, okay. This is going to be med packs. This is absolutely going to be med packs because each melee success deals 2 damage, and she got 2 successes when we divide the 3 into the 6th. Sorry, guys. If you guys can hear it, I'm still a little choked up, so I'm having to like suck on a cough drop, try to choke that down. I apologize. Yeah, so sorry if my voice is getting a little raspy. I just still getting over that cold. Okay, so we've got 4 wounds to allocate, and I have to deal with that before I can deal with fighting back to her. So maybe waiting around was not a good idea on this one. Where do I want to allocate these wounds? All right, I think the safest bet is to take and go 1 each because I don't want to risk taking out my CC team with their armor. We'll take and go. Okay, we'll let the sniper eat 1 because the sniper's not my tough one for this unless we end up having a fire range lair. So let's take and if I let the fire team eat 1, we'll spend 1 med kit to block this one, and then we're seeing if the fire team can beat it, and if they don't, I'll spend another med kit to cancel it, because that would leave 1 wound on each one of my guys except for the shotgunner. Okay, armor did block that, so that works. I can deal with that. Fire team A, sniper, and CC team all have 1 wound, but I do have a couple of med kits left, and I wanted to have at least 1 med kit left when we got to the lair. The event's been triggered here, but I do get my chance now to go back after her. Let's take, I've got a red and a blue die because the shotgunner, again, with melee has 2 skills, 3 and 4, so you actually get to roll twice. Ooh, yeah, let's roll for our squad leader first for our command. I rolled 1. Okay, this die's going away completely. All right, so we will take and do red as their 3 skill and blue as their 4 skill, just so I can roll all together. All right, red is 3. Ooh, I picked right on that. Although if I picked there, I would have got 2. I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm getting 2 regardless either way. So that is going to give me 2 successes. Let's take and just set those out of the way because red was for the 3, so that's 1. Blue is for the 4, which is only going to be 1. If I had gotten that command skill, that would have been 3 successes if I had that command point. So 2 generic markers to represent the 2. Now, that means that she's automatically going to eat 1 because she only has the 1 armor. So we'll take and pull 1 off and put 1 wound on her, but now she gets to roll for her armor. So let's roll and see if her armor blocks it. And her armor does block it. She didn't roll a lot of 6s on this round. All right, so she did take the wound, though, because I did get 2 through. So now we roll to see if she flees. And I think, yep, she's going to flee on a 3+ now because of the wound that she got assigned. And yes, she is definitely fleeing on this round. So she's gone. And that completes the combat round with only my shotgunner getting to fire. And my fire team, snipers, and CC team did not get to fire. I've got to say this improvement or this change is a big, big, big improvement. They definitely took a step in the right direction. Between that and fixing the errors that I made, I definitely don't feel like I'm cooking through the Leviathan anywhere as near as quickly as I did previously on that. So I definitely appreciate them taking the steps to do that. All right, so let's take and move this over. Our next turn, we don't have to worry about this, and I think I'm going to just straight cook right into the lair now because with a couple of wounds on her, I want to go all in because I've got too many wounds now to be fiddle farting around. I need to get in, focus her down. But we've got the climb. So I'm thinking I burn an intel pack to get 2 successes and then attempt to do the last one with a climb skill because the explorer's climb skill is only a 4, which is not that good. So we're going to do that. We're going to take and pop that. We'll put this over. 2 successes guaranteed from the intel pack. And now we'll roll for our squad leader. He gets that, and he still missed it by 1. Okay, let's roll for our climb skill, which is a 4+. Did get that. That completes it, so we don't have to worry about it. We are into the lair. Okay, so we're ready to take and complete it, and I was just reading it over again, and the Leviathan always gets ambushed on the first round, so that's going to include here in the lair. So we do need to take and determine where the combat's going to occur, whether it's going to be fire or melee. And honestly, I think fire is my best chance of beating her because if it's melee, she's going to be doing 2 wounds per to me here. So let's see what the range is going to be. And the range is going to be melee. So let's take and I don't have to worry about her fleeing. So all of my guys are going to be able to take and actually conduct their actions on this one. But she does get to go first. So I need to take and roll for her on this round. Hopefully she'll only do 1, but she's got to roll a 6 to do 2. So let's see what she rolls. All right, so she only got 1 success, but that's 2 wounds. And actually there was something I was just thinking about because I split all the wounds up previously and I think I'm allowed to do that. But I can't remember if it's you can split attacks up per enemy or if it's per all the wounds that are done. Let me check. Yeah, I read it again to be sure. It said you can take and freely assign wounds out amongst your guys. So since she got 1 success, which 1 success is 2 wounds for her, I've got 2 wounds to assign. And who the hell am I going with? I'm thinking maybe put 1 to the shotgunner. So the shotgunner will have 1 on her and then put 1 to CC team, see if the CC team can block it. And if they don't, I'll burn a med kit and that will leave me 1 med kit left. So we'll take and do that. 1 there, 1 here. Now we're going to roll for the CC team to see what they get. I need their armor to come through so I don't burn a med kit. And their armor fails, so I burn a med kit to keep them in the fight. Okay, now all my combat troops have 1 wound each. 1 more wound, they will go down. This is bad because she is dealing out 2 wounds at a time. All right, start with our shotgunner again. 3. Oh, I got to do my command. Gotta remember that command, which has missed every damn time. I have missed my command 3 times in a row. Okay, shotgunner. Red is for 3 skill. Blue is for 4 skill. Let's see what we get. That is only 1 success, and that command would have made a difference here. So that is 1 success. We'll put it against the Leviathan. The Leviathan is rolling now for their armor, which they're going to do against each troop. Remember, not just against the totality of the attacks like I did it the first time. All right, so she blocks it, so that goes back. Now he's not running. My fire team actually gets to attempt to attack this time. All right, we're looking for a 3 or better. We got a 1, so no success there to worry about. Sniper will only hit on a 5, which is a 4. That's no good. CC team will hit on a 3, though. Got a 3, so that is a success. Place our success marker down. We're going to compare it against the armor again, and I need that to go through. No, it's 4 up. The Leviathan blocks it. So she is blocking it. You can already see now, because the way that just played through was my mistake from the first time, because she should have done that back when I first hit that node with each one of the different attacks and not done it just against one attack. That was one of the main things I wanted to clear up for you guys. That was a big mistake on my part. But we do have some grenades, and I saved those for the end. Try to blow this bitch out of the water. So we are going to pop a grenade since she isn't going anywhere and see what kind of results that we get. Let me read again. I can't remember exactly how grenades work. Make sure I'm doing it right. All right, that's right. So we're going to roll, and that is how many wounds the grenade is doing. 3. So that's actually good. The grenade is going to give us a chance to win this. So let's take and grab those out. The grenade did 3 wounds. That means 2 wounds automatically go through. That's going to put her up to 4. And then she's going to roll armor against 1 of them. All right, let's roll 4. And her armor blocks it. So, I mean, that's cool. We still got 2 through with that grenade, and we do have other grenades left. This puts her down to half dead. So we go to the next round of combat. We will kick over to round 10. And the good part now, though, is that we are no longer in ambush situation. So it's going to be us going and her going at the same time. So this gives us a chance to actually win this. All right, so for ease of play, I'm going to take and do her first again since I've been doing that this whole time. All right, so let's roll for it and see what she gets. Oh, and she comes out swinging. This could be bad, actually. I don't know if I have enough medkits to make the difference on this one. Okay, so that is 2 wounds per success. That's 2 successes for. That is 4 wounds that we are having to deal with here. What is the best way to deal with this? Can I kill off my squad leader? He hasn't done shit for me. Okay, I got 4 wounds I got to try to divvy out. And honestly, I might as well kill off the damn explorer, because I could just, if this were a campaign game, I could just buy another explorer for 10 points. I wouldn't have to worry about fire teams that I had upgraded, like the shotgunner or the CC team that has, because they're 30 points versus that 10-point him. Can I take and put the damage to the explorer first? Or I think it has to go to the combat troops first. And only can go to the explorer or the specialist if they're in it, I think. Let me check. You know, I checked. It's freely assigned, so I see no reason not to kill off the damn squad leader and the explorer. But yeah, we're definitely going to kill the explorer, because the explorer is not that good. We'll put 1 towards the CC team. I got to choose who dies. Since we're at melee, it's probably best for me to kill the sniper and the squad leader. I think I can do this, so I'm going to do it. The designer will let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But we're going to kill the squad leader, we're going to kill the explorer, we're going to kill the sniper, and we're going to put one towards the CC team to see if that armor can block it. So these guys are out of the combat, and now we're rolling. I do need this to be a 4-up. Wait. I still got a med kit left. Did I burn that yet? No, I didn't burn the med kit. Okay, if the CC team blocks this, I'm going to use the med kit to have the sniper not die. But I'll use it for the squad leader and let the sniper die, because the sniper is not as important, I think, as the squad leader. But if the CC team doesn't block this, then I'm going to use it to keep the CC team in. All right, so let's see where this goes. 2, yeah, okay, that's where the med kit's going, definitely. That is our last med kit. So all of them dead. I can't take and go for a command point, so we'll just take and go straight to their combat. I need them to put through the wounds on this one, though, because I do have grenades left. So if they do good attacks here, I might be able to get her killed off. Again, shotgunner, red and blue. Let's see what we get. Okay, red failed, but I was thinking that was 2 for the blue, but that's only 1. Okay, that's 1 success. Put the wound down. We will roll for the Leviathan's armor. She fails. She does take another wound. There we go. She's only got a few health left. We'll roll for our fire team A. Do they get a success? They do get a success. I need some more of these back. Let's see if this one goes through first. All right, we need to see if her armor blocks this one. And her armor does block this one. So let me switch out some of these with 2s, because I do have 2s and 3s. I'll pull 4 of these off. All right, so there we go. She's got 5 wounds. Let's take and roll for our CC team. Yeah, they didn't get that wound. Okay, they are looking for a 3 or better. And they miss. Okay, we're going into another round. Oh, wait. I got a grenade left. I got grenades. We're going to spend that grenade. We're going to pop that sucker. If this comes up high, it could kill her. So this roll makes the difference, because I don't think we're going to survive too many more rounds, because 1 more wound will kill my shotgunner and fire team and CC team. So this roll really makes a difference. If it comes up high, it doesn't matter if her armor's good. The rest of the wounds will kill her. There it is. We got her. We got her at the end. Look at that. That's 6 wounds. It does not matter. Even if she blocks the 1, she still takes 5 on top of the 5 that she's got. She is dead. We did get her at the lair there at the end. But we lost the squad leader, the sniper, and the demo to take and do that. That ended up coming out excellent. That came out really good. We took and defeated the bitch again, so I am happy about that. Honestly, I gotta say, I like the improvements to the rules, because a game like this, I mean, any solitaire game, it's going to come down to the dice, and damn near any game you play, if it's got dice in it, is going to come down to the dice. Sometimes the dice gods are with you, and sometimes the dice gods aren't. Trust me, play X-Wing. The dice gods will be against you more often than you would care to admit. God, they hate me sometimes. But if that grenade had rolled badly, say we had only gotten a 1 on that last one, it could have potentially blocked it, and then we would have had to fight the Leviathan again with a badly wounded leftover team. And if she rolled high, that could have been it. That could have been game form. Even 1 success would have been 2 more wounds. If the CC team didn't block it on that one, CC team would be gone, and I would automatically lose shotgun or a fire team, which I would pick the fire team. So I like how this map played out with the new updated rules. Much better than I did on the first round, because the Leviathan did, the guerrilla style movement, hit and run coming in, and it did give me the choice, over here where I was like, I want to wait a couple of rounds and see if I can engage her 1 more time and try to sneak through some wounds. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about that, I think that was a bad idea, because getting to the lair each time I fight her out here, I'm having to deal with the ambush all over again. Once I actually got into the lair, I only had to deal with the ambush for one round, and then it was regular combat where we're going back and forth, and she's not going first prior to me. That made the difference. So that was just a bad choice on my part to try to hang out here. I think pushing through as quick as possible is still probably the best idea. And just like any other map, you want grenades and you want med kits to make the difference. It's a little different when you have a line of little minion type troops that you're throwing the grenade at versus when you can take and punch straight through to a single unit. I might almost recommend that they add for grenades against just a single target, like a special rule in the rulebook, like an addendum to grenades, that if you throw a grenade against a single target, instead of the wounds being the number that you roll, it's the wounds divided by half, or something like, what is it? Yeah, I guess that'd be half. I was thinking like as a D3, but yeah, somewhere around there. If you roll a 6, you're getting 3 wounds, 5, 3 wounds. Yeah, I would do it that way. It's like a D3. 1 to 2 would be 1 wound, 3 to 4 would be 2 wounds, and 5 to 6 would be 3 wounds. I think that would be a little bit better when you're going after a single target, so you can't just blat them by using grenades. That would be the last little tweak that I would make. But other than that, yeah, this worked a hell of a lot better than it did the first time. Definitely enjoyed it. And this is all coming from me, guys, right? I just want to make sure I reiterate to you that I felt so bad when I saw people referencing my video saying, I'm not going to back it because of, that reviewer who did the video. I'm like, no, it's a great game. I love Space Infantry. In fact, Space Infantry has a special place in my heart because when I first started getting into wargaming, it was Space Infantry that I was originally trying to track down, and I could never find a copy of Space Infantry. It was like out of print at the time, and I didn't know then the places where you could go to find wargaming stuff. So it ended up being Warfighter from DVG, which I admittedly love, that I ended up getting my hands on instead. And then that cardboard crack got their fingers in me, and next thing my wife knows, there's like a box full of expansions sitting there, and she's like, I thought you said it was just one game. Anyway, but yeah, Space Infantry was one of the first things I tried to get into, and I didn't actually get my hands on Space Infantry until I had developed my own channel, got my name out there, and a subscriber was nice enough to take and send me a copy of the original so I could take and play it finally. So when this was coming out, I really want this to hit the shelves. I want people to enjoy it. I want it to get out there, and I didn't want a video I made to cause people to not get into it. That's why I wanted to replay this so you guys could see what it looks like with the updated rules. Again, this is not something I would normally do, but I did feel bad that I had turned people off of a game inadvertently when I was wanting to turn them onto a game. I'll let you know if I'm not, liking something. There's been games out there, like I love DVG, but 1500 was definitely not one of my favorite games of theirs. Fleet Commander Nimitz, not one of my favorites of theirs, but I love all of their products. I love them as a company. Doesn't mean I'm going to like every single thing that I, put my hands on, but I do like Resurgence. It's a good game. I didn't want one bad thing that you guys saw, that had already been fixed to turn people off of it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. I know it ran kind of long, but I wanted to play through the whole scenario in one go so you could see the whole thing and get my little 2 cents in there for you. All right, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go suck on a cough drop. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.